this movie was mind blowing. I'm glad that I got to see it today, and that so much stuff wasn't spoiled for me. Of course, with the trailers and everything like that, we already knew that all of the villains were coming in through different dimensions and stuff like that. But what we didn't know, wow, just wow, it was really, really good, and it was really, really well done. The plot was really put together for what it was, even though we were getting villains from Toby and Andrew's universes. It actually made sense in context of things because Doctor Strange messed up a spell, bringing them into the MCU, and all stuff going wrong. So Tom's Spider-Man had to kind of sort it out and have to deal with them on his own. And I enjoyed stuff like Aunt May's help in this because originally he didn't really want anything to do with it, but she was like, she brought in feast, she was going to look after them and stuff like that, and it kind of incorporated like, with great power comes great responsibility, which so far Tom Holland's Spider-Man hasn't been like that. He's been very much Iron Man Jr. He's been handed everything on a silver plate. He's never made his own costume apart from the homemade one, which isn't very good. And this movie seems like takes all of the criticism that we've had so far, and they've basically done it, and they fixed everything that was wrong with Tom's Spider-Man. It's taken a while. This is the third movie that he's had. 6 if you're including all the movies that he showed up in so far. But it was well worth a watch. I would say it didn't necessarily have the heart that the other movies did. The action is quite good, but it's still not up to Mark Webb's or Sam Raimi's cinematography. The fight scenes were very, there was a lot going on and stuff like that. Now, the stuff that I'm going to spoil is about all the people who appeared. Like, we got Charlie Cox. Daredevil is finally in the MCU. How amazing is that? And not only that, we also got Toby and Andrew in Spider-Man. We finally got the 3 of them together. This is like a mini Spider-Verse. And they were fighting all villains, and it was awesome. Now, I have a little problem with how that went down, because when you had Toby and Andrew fighting in the scenes, their costumes are very similar, and because so much stuff is happening in those scenes, it was hard to tell who is who. Now, if they'd used Andrew's first Amazing Spider-Man suit, it would be easy to tell them apart. But because they both had silver webbing, they both had exactly the same kind of silhouette. It was raised, the colouring's the same. The only big difference is the spider logo on the chest and the eyes. But that's it. You can't really tell from the eyes when you're just looking at a blink, because it's just too fast. So that kind of got lost. It also felt that Toby didn't really want to be in this movie. I don't know. His acting just didn't seem like he was really that interested or engaged in the part. It was kind of all very dry. There was no really emotion from his performance or anything like that. Whereas Andrew, right from the get-go, you could tell he's in exactly the same mindset that he was in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. He is very happy to be there, and he just stole the scenes as soon as he appeared from that portal. It was amazing, and it was just a delight just to see him back. I got so excited seeing him back, even though Toby is my favourite Spider-Man of the 3. Andrew was easily the best in this movie. He just was. And as for the villains, like, they were all brilliant as well. But the ones that really stuck out, of course, were Norman and Otto. And in this, we actually got them interacting as scientists. It was something that, you could just dream of. Like in the other movies so far, we haven't had any of this whatsoever. But finally, in this MCU movie, somehow they actually brought it all together, and it actually all worked. And it was amazing. I can't say that enough, Apart from it not having, like, all the feels and stuff like that, it was genuinely a really, really good time. And that final shot with Tom Spider-Man finally coming to grips with who he actually is and actually becoming the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man that we all know and love. Because apart from that, he's been fighting aliens, he's been fighting Iron Man villains, and he's not really had his own thing whatsoever. But it looks like it's setting up his own web, so to speak, and he's going to have all these kind of spin-offs and stuff like that. But for the first time, we don't actually know what is going to happen to him. It's going to be a joy to see. I'm probably going to do a longer review than this, but that's just my quick thoughts.